we're coming up to the final game, and I feel enthused that we're going to leave a lot of these lads with opportunities to make themselves better men, both on and off the field. I hope some of them continue to play rugby, but more importantly, I hope people go on and take on the lessons on board that we've given them the opportunities and grab them with both hands. And I feel that we've had more successes this year than failures.
Well, the lads we lost along the way, very early, Anthony, Formgate. You know,
it actually exaggerates the fact that actually you keep hold of some lads for a while that you wish had gone before Anthony. I mean, I'm picking out Darryl. I just found him a complete waste of space. Where's the camera? It's about me. Anytime there was an opportunity to be injured, take a dive, get out of things, skive out of things, be late, turn up, not have the right gear. I wanted to wash my hands of him very quickly, whereas Anthony, we kept Darryl for a while. I was going, God, I wish you'd bugger off. I wish Anthony would have stayed.
One of the lows for me was just seeing how Polius reacted last night. We told him that he couldn't play. You know, he'd had a few pints, more than a few pints, and then I think it was his brave face come on. You know, every time he was pissed, he wanted to tackle me. Every time he was sober, he was one of the nicest guys that you could meet. You know, when you see Paulie come there, deny that he's been drinking, stinking of booze, acting the way he did, you've got to remember sometimes that alcohol is an illness.
And I think what we also end up remembering is that, it's difficult for us to judge, but as long as we are the team coach, as long as we're in charge of that team and responsible for those 15, 25 lads being on a field of play with full contact against a proper team, that actually, you know what, the sympathy for what's going on off the field goes, because when you're in amongst us and you're in playing by our team rules, you either stick to them and you are part of that team, or you just have to leave, and it's just, this setup is not for you if you're like that.
He'll be welcome back as long as he's sober. If he turns up on Sunday, then fine, that's great. But if he's had a drink, then we'll have to do the same again. You spend a lot of time with Kwesi, on and off the pitch.
I'm finding him the biggest challenge, and the reason I'm finding him the biggest challenge is because I want him to do so well, and I recognise someone with an unbelievable amount, a real amount of potential in life, not just at rugby. And I think if we let him slip through the net on this and he drifts off and goes back to being the way he was after this course, then I think for me it's the biggest disappointment I'll have.
We've got Wally and Dougie. They arrived late to the group. They've got rugby experience. They've both played before in critical positions, 9 and 10. But sometimes you get the feeling that they can't quite understand what we're trying to do.
When they first turned up, they turned up with John, didn't they? And I just thought, jackpot, here we go. You know, that they're unemployed, they fit the bill, but at the same time, they've played a bit of rugby. John, for me, has been magnificent.
Superb.
Dougie and Wally, they've gone the other way. Wally, I think he thinks he's Dan Carter or Johnny Wilkinson. Thinks he can play this amazing brand of rugby and gets frustrated with you. Oh, you're getting the hole outside, I was telling you where to go. Screaming at people who are going, hold on a sec, I haven't played rugby before. On the field, they've got to, bodies on fire, heads on ice, and they've got to be much cooler, much calmer, more composed, because their role at 9 and 10 is absolutely critical. If they play badly in the big game in those key positions, then we're stuffed. They have to show some composure. When you do these courses, you always hope that somewhere you might dig up a diamond in the rough, and I just can't believe what we stumbled across in Rodal. And we talk about the fitness testing. He was doing time. We were doing England fitness testing, and he was doing times that were blowing people away and finishing it with a flick-flack down, and then wanting to go again.
But he's one guy that just puts his heart on the line every time. I would be quite happy to say, okay, hand him over to a back-in or hand him over to a League 2 team and say, right, he's raw, this is what we've done with him, take him over, show him over the next year how he can improve and how he can hone his skills on that side of the scrum, and he could be a real talent.
He's just a raw, talented athlete. He's got genuine pace and genuine strength.
But he's a nice guy as well.
Yeah, well, we'll allow a couple of nice guys.
What's going to happen on Sunday? Are we going to win it?
Are we going to win? That's a fascinating question. I find I'm desperate for them to score at least one try. We're playing a really, really good team who will give no quarter. And I think win, forget about the win. I'm not just saying concede defeat, but for me, play as a team, play with respect for each other, be a situation at the end of the game where they can all look each other in the eye, they can be back in the change room, they can have a shower, they can come through, we can have beers, and they can say, we are a team. School of Hard Knocks has been a massive success. If they're together at the end, they're hand slapping, they're handshaking, they're hugging, they're congratulating the opposition, and they walk off with their heads held high, having done their absolute best on that given afternoon.
Before the team face their biggest test on the pitch on Sunday, they get the opportunity to put everything they've learnt off the pitch into practice. On a visit to the Olympic Park construction site, the Hard Knocks squad get the chance to interview for jobs which could set them up for life.
This is our apprentice centre. We're putting 350 people hopefully through an apprenticeship during the course of this contract. The great thing about the industry is fundamentally if you're any good at what you do, and if you're prepared to take responsibility and you're prepared to do anything, never say no to anything. Whenever anybody asks you, don't, Christ, I don't really want to do that, but yeah, I'll do it. And if you show willing and you show a positive nature, then you get on. It's not all about having 6 degrees or anything like that. It's about your attitude.
I am willing to do anything. Anything that gets me a job, I'll do anything. Doesn't matter. He's going to try and get me in here somehow. So yeah, just that CSCS can now, and world's my oyster.
Hopefully it has changed people's opinions and views on work and things like that. Hopefully everyone gets a job, you know. It'd be better to get everyone off the benefits, you know what I mean?
Come along. Is that what you're interested in? Yeah. Would you be interested in? Yeah? That's fantastic.
I'm hopefully looking like after Christmas or before Christmas to really have a mindset onto what I want to do. Like to say before Christmas, like, this is what I'm doing in the new year, and that I am actually going to do it. So obviously, yeah, it has come out well. I'm glad I woke up this morning and came to this.
I'm gonna get a job. She told me that, yeah, I might be putting the light bulb in the stadium as well, so that's a bit exciting as well. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna do that, but if I get a chance, that would be really good.
For somebody who's really struggling, they shouldn't give up. And I guess the responsibility of all of us is to try and give them that self-belief that if you want something and you really want something, then by and large you're going to get there, because that drive will take you through.
Well, SQ, wasn't it wonderful to see the guys grab the opportunity off the field that's been offered them and to take it with both hands. Now, of course, it's to Sunday and we get to find out whether we've managed to bring them together as a team.
And of course, it's their biggest test. We've seen the highs of the university, the lows of Barking. We'll see where this group have come over the last 8 weeks with all the hard work that they've put in on the pitch, now come to fruition on Sunday.
And genuinely, how do you think they'll do?
I hope they win, but if anything we take from this, if they've learned anything, they just give 110% and leave nothing left in the tank.
Absolutely. I just want them to front up, to fight for each other, to stick together, to work hard for each other off the ball when they haven't got it, and stand together. And then afterwards, we can have a couple of quiet bevies.
I like her.
In the final episode of the School of Hard Knocks, the team face their last test as they are pitted against a strong invitational side selected to provide the sternest of challenges.